to serve as interim chair. Does anybody have any objection to that?
No.
If not, we do have some new faces. I'd like to, I should have waited to see if you had no objection first. Thank you, Patty. I'd like to go around the room and introduce members of the committee and those at the table. So we're all aware. We'll start with Dusty.
Dustin Reedy, 30th District, not on the Public Safety Committee, but happy to join it.
Correct, Mr. Legislative District.
Patty Lochner, Village Colony.
Pete Tunney, Colony, Niskiana Border, not on the Public Safety Committee also.
Harna Zilgri, Minority Council.
Gilly Zirko, the Colony, not by choice.
Sean Ward, interim chair. I've had a request to start with item number 4, if nobody has an objection. Because we've got a very anxious and on-call sheriff. You never know when it's going to get a call to move, but number 4 is authorizing an agreement with Murnane Building Contractors regarding the public safety facility. Sheriff?
Mr. Chairman, this is part of our capital plan from 2019 to 2023. It's for a large warehouse on the grounds of the Clarksville Public Safety Center out there. This is just the construction manager portion.
How many square foot is?
85 by 150.
Okay. Any questions?
Sheriff, you can fit everything in there?
Yes.
You're gonna be all
Yeah.
set?
Yeah, well, what prompted
We started
this?
this a while back. and
Yeah, we
a lot of
started it a
things
while
changed.
back, and what prompted it was our space at the airport. We've basically been evicted, and they've been working with us because, you know, we've got millions of dollars in equipment. So to put this stuff outside would be just grossly negligent. So this will be big enough to store all the equipment, and of course, we can store the cars in there through the storms and everything else.
In the future, because
Yes.
you'll have enough
Yeah.
room to put. the
And
future.
honestly, I'd be afraid to make the slightest change because it's taken us so long to get to this point. So, but yes, it
But
will.
you'll have room for the helicopter?
It's coming. No, I'm just.
It goes on the roof. It's on the roof.
Now we're talking.
I assume very secure,
I'm sorry?
very secure facility?
It's just a, coin the term, it's like a Morton building. It's an insulated steel building. We've actually already purchased the building with asset forfeiture money. Department of Justice allowed us to do that. They normally don't. But we said, you know, we kind of sold the case of, we've spent so much money on, you know, this equipment, it would be a shame, you know, we need a place to store it. So they gave us one-time special dispensation to purchase it. So we spent $167,000 already on the steel building, which is out there already.
Good.
So.
All right, any other questions? Do we have motion to move?
Motion, well,
Second? All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous, thank you. Go back to number 1. Oh, sorry. Number 5, authorizing agreements with participating municipalities regarding emergency medical technician services.
Mr. Chairman, this is our annual contract for the EMT services for Delmar Bethlehem, for the town of New Skyland, Rensselaerville, Bern, and Westerlo. It's all broken down. It's fully reimbursable for our EMT services. It's just our annual contract.
Mr. Demowitz?
Sheriff, did we, when we negotiate these contracts with the towns, we're having a hard time fulfilling those EMT positions because of the pay.
Yeah.
Did they adjust their, their commitment to paying for those EMTs at a higher salary so we don't have to keep on running around or so we can hire some people at appropriate salaries?
Not yet. Right now, they're under contract, I believe, through 21. At that, we've
So
prepped
this is
them
just a
all.
renewal?
This is a renewal. We've prepped them all and told them, listen, we've been kicking the can a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And the EMTs and the paramedics that work for the sheriff's office are grossly underpaid.
Yes, they are.
Neighboring communities are paying $5, Colony's paying $10 more an hour. So it's a no-brainer where you want to go and work. So we offer an unbelievable service, but we do need to pay them and keep the retention. We've we've been slowly picking up where volunteer services have been going under. We just recently, as of December 31st, picked up the town of Westerlo. So that's more EMTs now that we have to, hire to fulfill those
But then
slots.
Westerlo's gonna reimburse us for that.
Yes,
So
yes.
Westerlo's gotta get on board.
And they are. We've been working with them. We've met with all the town supervisors. They all know it. But again, next year when we start to negotiate, we can't kick the can any further.
You really can't. It's not, and they can because we're the ones stuck providing the service.
Yeah. Yeah. The revenue also, obviously, as the call volume goes up, the recovery revenue is working a little bit better too. So I know at the end of last year, after we paid for everything and segregated out money, because we also purchased AEDs for all the towns, which is a big lift. That was $250,000 that we took out of the revenue. At the end of last year, I think we ended up with $330,000 roughly in revenue. We're about to move $60,000 of it to purchase a used ambulance out of Pennsylvania. But, this year we hope to bring in closer to $500,000, and then, unfortunately, it's going to continue to grow, which, it's bittersweet, because that just means there's more ambulance calls out
But you can't use that money
there.
for the salaries. We wanna,
Right.
we need to raise those salaries.
We're using that
for
money-
EMTs and paramedics.
We're using that money to offset our costs for stretchers. I mean, a stretcher now, the hydraulic stretchers are like $30,000, $40,000. It's an expensive business, and I agree. But the towns have been getting better. They know next year they can't get kicked.
Good.
Sheriff, they're represented, aren't they?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So
They're locked in a contract, so there's really nothing I can do now other than prep everybody that,
It's coming.
it's coming.
Okay. Any other questions?
What is the starting pay
Mr. Wagon.
for some of these?
I think for an EMT, it's like just about $14 an hour. For a paramedic, it's a few dollars higher. You can go over to a small community like Greenport and make an extra $4 to $5 an hour. You can go to Colony and make close to $10 more an hour. So, I'm going to tell you that there's not a community around here that provides the service that the sheriff's ALS provides, and I can stand behind that all day.
Very good. Any other questions? Ms. Lockhart?
Sheriff, I just can't remember, how long ago did the sheriff start taking over the EMT stuff in these towns? I remember when,
We started with the fly cars, my gosh, probably close to 20 years ago, if not more. I'm
Didn't
horrible.
Farge start that?
Yes.
Farge started. the
Yeah,
whole
so what are we
program,
talking, 20
Farge-
years
About
ago,
20
probably?
years
but
ago.
it seems like in recent years.
So it has, it's increased. Listen, when the market started to collapse back in 08, 09, and volunteerism dropped quickly, our ALS got very busy, and then we were starting to run the ambulances, and then we picked up Rensselaerville, and then we picked up Voorheesville, and then we picked up Westerlo, and there's other communities that are just barely hanging on. There's no more volunteer services. They continue the name, but in reality, it's a paid volunteer service. So they're going to continue to fail, and that's why last year the big push was to add those full-time. We wanted to go to a full-time model as opposed to the part-times, because what happens with the part-time models, guys will work for me a 24-hour shift, then they'll go up to Colony for a 24-hour shift, then they'll go to Greenport for a 24-hour shift with no sleep, and God forbid something horrific happens on the road while you're transporting a patient. So we wanted to go to a full-time model. We just tested this week. We had a great crew test. I think all but one passed, so we're moving with that.
Thank you.
Anything else? Do we have a motion? Ms. Sol, Mr. Demowitz, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Item 6, authorizing agreements with participating municipalities regarding advanced life support services.
This is the paramedic portion of our program. It's for $2 million. This is for Bethlehem, Byrne, Queens, New Scotland, Rensselaerville, and Westerlo. Again, fully reunversible. This is just the one-year renewal.
Very good. Any questions?
Motion
We have motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Item 7, approving the 2020 Albany County Stop DWI plan and authorizing an agreement with the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Mr. Chairman, this is the $763,000 in funding from the Governor's Traffic Safety for our Stop DWI plan. This money is broken down. Usually, it's $2,500 per agency, depending on what they've done the prior year. It runs from October 1 of 19, ends in September 30th of 2020.
Any questions? Mr. Etier, you were interested in some more enforcement on Coles Boulevard.
You want some more corridor patrols in Cohoes?
Absolutely.
They've been so successful, we don't need them no more.
Do we have a motion?
People pay attention now.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. I had to open up that can of worms, didn't I? Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Unified Court System regarding security services for the Albany County Court, Supreme Court, and Family Court.
Mr. Chairman, this is the 5-year contract, started April 1 of 19, will go through March 31 of 24. It's for $2 million annually, fully reimbursable for prisoner and transportation and court security for family, judicial, and Supreme.
All reimbursable.
Reimbursable.
Questions? Comments? All those, motion, Mr. Demowitz. Mr. Canisso, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. 9, authorizing a lease agreement regarding 380 Fox Creek Road in the town of Rensselaerville for emergency management service operations.
So, Mr. Chairman, this one's an expensive one. It will cost us $1 a month. This is for the Rensselaerville building. It's their former rescue squad building. We've taken over and placed an ambulance in it. So we felt it would be appropriate to have some sort of shelter down there, and we'll be able to store an ambulance down at that end of the county as well.
$1 a month?
$1 a month.
That's $12 a year. I just
Why
want
can't they
people
just
to
do
know.
$1 a year? Why do we gotta do $12?
Well, we'll negotiate the other 11 off, but it's, look, we did the best we could, all right?
Statutory requirement. Mr. Demowitz, is that a motion? Second. Ms. Lockhart, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
We're going back. Thank you.
Where you headed?
Naples. I gotta come back for audit and finance anyway.
We'll go back to what, number 1 here, approving the previous meeting minutes. We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Item 2, authorizing an agreement with New York State Office of Information Technology Services regarding the mass alert notification system.
Good evening, Chair and members. The Office of Information Services is requesting authorization for a use agreement of an alert system, which will be on state contract and at free, no cost to the county.
Is it because we're piggybacking off of NIOR, or
That-
off of the state?
That is correct.
Do they allow that for all municipalities?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's, I can forward you the information.
Good news. Well,
Yeah.
I had the information, I just, I got a different price on it, so.
I know.
But any questions at all? It's actually a great service to have.
I make a motion, we accept.
Mr. Ethier, second. Mr. Canisso, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item 3, authorizing an agreement with the Vera Institute of Justice regarding the New York State bail reform analysis. Mr. Connors.
Good evening,
Welcome.
Chairman and committee members. This is a data sharing agreement with Vera Institute of Criminal Justice from New York City. Their plan was to analyze our data. They're going to compare it with our past years and years going forward. And they're also going to include 6 other counties in this data sharing agreement: Albany, Erie, Rome, Oneida, and Cortland and Tompkins, to hope to have a good picture of the reflection of bail reform state and the impact on Albany County.
Will we be able to get a copy of that report when it's done?
I believe so. I think there will be ongoing communication, and I'd be provided regular data.
Okay.
The MOU data sharing agreement says we're going to provide them data on a monthly basis.
Yeah, I think some of our legislators would be interested in that. It's obviously an issue that everybody is looking at.
It's a brand-new law effective January 1st. The impact that we are the designated pretrial service for Albany County, and we're just going to continue to monitor and analyze it. The full impact we've not seen yet. We've received probably 60 cases on pre-release conditions so far this year. We've had 4 cases, including a GPS. So we're continuing to monitor it and provide this service to the courts of Albany County.
Ms. Lockhart, question?
Thank you. With the Vera Institute, do you have something that kind of outlines how they're going to track this? You know,
It's basically just the data points that are indicated in the, did you get the attached material? All the data points that they're going to be collecting? Okay.
No, if it's there, I'll get it from my supervisor.
Oh, yeah, all the points are indicated.
Okay.
The date that they're starting, the length, the reason that they're released, the conditions of any supervision, any court information that we can supply, the compliance with conditions. So every person that is arrested has a choice of how they want to be communicated going forward, either by text, email, regular mail, or telephone.
To be reminded.
Right, to be reminded to return to court. And actually, the charges and any additional information and their legal history, we're gonna include that in the data.
And one other question. I'm very familiar with the Vera Institute, but how were they decided to do this? Do we do an RFP, or do we put some, I know this is all very quick, so a lot of people.
So they approached us late last year with this opportunity. I think there was something in the Times Union earlier this week, is that they received a grant of several $1 million, and their plan is to implement this as widely as they can in New York State and provide this information.
So that grant would have came from the state to do that?
I think it was from a private individual to Vera. Yeah, we worked with Vera Institute many years ago in juvenile justice. They're a very good place to do business with. We did a lot of our juvenile justice with them, and they analyzed a lot of our data and provided some good information for us.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Not, do we have a motion? Mr. Canisso, second. Mr. Demowitz. Sound convincing. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous, thank you. Motion to adjourn. Canisso, Mr. Demowitz, second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.